So we're going to fast forward after that. Shortly after that, like I had gotten like inexplicably sick. So I my stomach was jacked up. I couldn't eat food. Like I had to go to my doctor. I just thought I had food poisoning. So I went to my doctor. I went to the urgent care first. And the urgent care was like, oh, you have food poisoning. You just have to eat, you know, like bread, rice, you know, crackers, just very seasonless, you know. I had to eat like basically put me on a gentrification diet, no seasoning, lots of things that were white bread, white crackers, white rice, all that good stuff. So, you know, it was like I was on this gentrification diet for a couple weeks, and you know, it just was not giving. My stomach was still, you know, I was Pepto Bismol down, Imodium. I just couldn't keep anything down. Like I wasn't able to eat, but like a little bit a day, and it got a little bit better over the course of April. And I was like, okay, it got better to the part where I was functioning, but I percent. So in April of that year, I actually went to go see a Tori Kelly concert. I like Tori Kelly. I just like R&B in general. So and pop. So I was seeing, I was going to see Tori Kelly, and what happened is it was one of those days where it was hot in the morning and then got colder at night. So here I am going to meet Tori Kelly. I have like a short shirt. Oh, I was a little more in shape back then. I had short shorts, you know, the short. And also what I didn't realize is the AC is on full blast because it accompanies you know, large crowds and people, you know, a lot of body heat. So that's why it's super cold in there. So, but what happened was they did a meet and greet and they only had like a small percentage of people. So I actually met Tori Kelly that day. And so my outfit was not built for the inside, it was made for the outside. So I had got, you know, a little nasal drip. The nasal drip went into my stomach. I actually, the next day at work, excuse me, the next day at work, I had actually like threw up. Like I visibly threw up at work. And rumor has it that that video is still circulating on the internet of me throwing up in that trash can. Cause anyways, they child in and got me on camera throwing up. So anyway, so you know, I'm just like, oh, I just have a stomach ache, I just have a cold, I just got allergies, you know, everything like that. But one of my coworkers was like, no, you've been having these issues for quite a while now because
Right.
it's March, it's now April, it's going into May. Schedule an appointment with the GI doctor because clearly the gentrification diet is not doing what it needs to do. However, I did lose a cute 25 pounds, but I was like, I lost that 25 pounds way too quickly. So yeah, something's wrong. So I go to, you know, the GI doctor. It's my first time. They asked me questions. They gave me a they give you like a little Cool Whip container that like it's like has the hazmat stuff on it, and they was like, you can do one of two things with this container. They said you can take it home and just refrigerate it and then bring it back, or you could do it now. I said, I'm gonna take it now because if I'm just not about to, you know, go in this Cool Whip container and put it by, you know, put it by the applesauce and yogurt. Like that's not what I'm doing. That's not what we're doing today. So, you know, I do it there, I drop it off, I leave it there, and then you know, I think how like a week or so after they take the test it. So the doctor calls me and the doctor was like, hey, have you been traveling out of the country recently? And I was just like, what do you mean have I been traveling out of the country recently? Like, no. Well, he was like, well, you have your GI condition is actually a parasite called Giardia, and it normally comes from people going to third world countries and scooping up water like that because they don't have any other water to drink. So it was like, do you go hiking? Do you go? And I was like, no, I don't. I had a part-time job at the time that was, you know, going to try out different restaurants and things like that. So I was like, maybe one of the restaurants had a source of well water or something like that. And I was also eating like different exotic meats and stuff like that. And I was just like, you know, I just, maybe it came from that or whatever, but like, I don't know what to do. And so they were like, well, we'll fill out a prescription, just take it. You'll get antibiotics and stuff like that. And like, it'll be cleared up in a week. And it's still cleared up. And it was cleared up in a week. And they're like, you know, you just can't have alcohol, but I don't drink that often. So what happened is I had a friend at the time who was studying pre-med. And my friend that was studying pre-med was like, so I was actually looking up your condition and we were talking about it in class that it's actually a new trend of men contracting it from other men. Are you familiar with the Jhené Aiko song? You might let your boy show for me. So it was like I was just like, no. No, I was just like, and everything just replaying in my head because I was just like, no, because I really haven't been with anybody since
since the Secret Garden.
No. And I was just like, not only did that man hide a wife and a child, which, mind you, remember when he said it was his parents' house? That wasn't his parents' house. That was his house. And I said, I know I was not sitting up in the backyard with your wife and child sleeping, baby. I just, I'm just very ashamed of that. I'm telling you, like,